athletes and fans of bodybuilding. This is Wendy Fortino. I'm on Olympia TV here, and I am here with my amazing co-host, Camille Perriot, who is an IFBB Pro bikini competitor. She's a top 7 Olympian. She's a judge. She does it all. She owns a gym with her husband, Chris, out in Santa Cruz, and we are blessed with her presence. How are you doing today, Camille?
I'm great. I'm so excited about our special guest today.
Yes, and exactly. And that leads me to introducing our very special guest, Marissa Andrews. And we had a little conversation about her last name we're going to actually talk about because it's a really cool story. But Marissa Andrews is very special. She is on to her 3rd Olympia. She just won the Mexico Pro. And she's doing this all while she's juggling her journey while she's en route to becoming a dentist. She just recently got white coated, and I believe she's 1.5 years away from becoming an official dentist. So we don't know how she does it all, but Marissa, she's here today, and also she's at the airport. We only have 30 minutes with her, so we're going to make the most of it. Marissa, how are you doing today?
I'm doing so good. I'm doing so good. Today's been chaos a little bit, but I don't think there's a day that's not. So feels comfortable.
Well, you know what? I think a good segue, a good intro for you is we just got done talking about this. Can you explain to us the situation with your last name? We're trying to sort through that, so just let us know.
IG says one thing and NPC News Online says another. What is your last name?
Yes. Honestly, I don't even know what to go by at this point, but my real name is Marissa Andreou. Well, my real name is Marissa Andreou, but with competing, my sister started competing first, and she is a physician. And when she started competing, she was working at an ER rotation, and people kept coming into the ER to try to see her and, causing scenes to try to see her. So she decided that changing her last name from Andreou to Andrews would give kind of like a little separation between the medical world and the bodybuilding world. And then obviously having her sister have a different last name was kind of a dead giveaway. So I changed mine too. And yeah, so now I have no idea what to go by. Either Andrews or Andreou. I don't know what to put on my shirts. I don't know what to register as. So anybody who has any advice, that'd be great.
So you said my sister, but a lot of people don't realize who your sister is because she's also a big name in the wellness division. Who is your sister?
Yeah. Sunny Andrews. So Dr. Sunny Andrews. That's actually why I'm at the airport right now. I am flying to Austin to go see her compete tomorrow.
Oh,
yeah.
Tomorrow. Oh,
yeah, she's doing Republic of Texas.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. We'll have to bring her on and have a conversation with her too, because
I would love that. I just invited myself. Did you hear me? I was like, I would love to do that with her.
Yeah.
Well, it's a really cool story that there's 2 sisters in the same division who are in the top of their division, and you guys are both doctors. So tell us a little bit about, so you're going through dental school, which is pretty amazing because most competitors, that's what we do, just that, competing. And that's a lot that you're juggling. How do you manage all of that?
A lot of planning. And I think that I have started to prioritize doing myself. Oh, that's my boyfriend. He's an IFBB pro and a dentist too.
Oh,
so I found myself.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's doing his pro debut in Tampa in 3 weeks. See? Yeah.
What?
That's my guy.
Crazy.
So, okay, well, it's a lot easier doing this crazy stuff when I have my sister and my boyfriend already doing the crazy stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, if they can do it, I can do it. But it's very much doing your future self favors as if they were your best friend. So if you know that your best friend has a long day tomorrow, you're going to help them get their food ready. You're going to help them get their laundry ready, doing everything that would be small and tedious and just take it off their plate. So every night before I go to bed, my food is packed, my meals are ready, my scrubs are picked out. Everything is set out and idiot proof so that tomorrow Marissa doesn't have to think about the little things. She can just execute and actually use the limited brain power that she has during prep to actually do the things that are important and essential. And then obviously
Your days must be so long. Your days must be so long. I know I told you before we got on, I'm a dental hygienist. And when I was going through dental hygiene school, we were there before 7 a.m. We would leave at 5 and you have homework. You must have even more than that. And then how do you have time to train?
Yeah.
It becomes, if I'm in prep, it becomes the only two things that I can do. But this year is going to be a lot easier than years past. So my first Olympia was at my first year of dental school. My second Olympia was my second year. And now going into my third year, I'm moving from being essentially didactics for 12 hours and then coming home and having to study to being a clinician for 12 hours and then coming home and then I'm off the clock. So instead of having that constant pressure of I need to be studying, I need to be doing this year, it finally feels like I'm going to be like, I've already felt that there's like a weight off my shoulder. I can come home and actually unplug and transition from dental Marissa to bodybuilding Marissa. And it's always about just like keeping moving, so the days are long, but you rest when you need to rest and you prioritize that. And then everything else can build from that.
Oh, sorry. Go for it, Wendy.
No, go ahead. You're going down a road. I have another question I want to ask, but if you're going to go down the same road, go for it.
Well, I was going to ask you when you're, you just competed at a lot of shows recently, the Pittsburgh, Mexico. Yeah. So when you're in prep, do you do like cardio early in the morning? Do you train after you do clinicals? How do you where do you find your time to do all of that? Because that is a lot of people's only job when they're competing.
Yeah. I think I'm a little crazy. I think I would go stir crazy, and that just might be because I'm so used to this lifestyle at this point. But I usually wake up at 4:30, 5 a.m. I do my cardio from 5:15 to 6:15, shower, get ready. I have to be at clinic at 7 in the morning. I'm in clinic for 12 hours. So, 11 hours. I get finished at 6. And then from there, I will either come home, handle posing clients, do my athlete check-ins because I also coach posing and personal training as well.
Of course you do.
Or I will train, and then I have a hard set bedtime at 8:30. If I'm up at 9 p.m., something's crazy. So
really,
yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that would be so difficult for me. Okay, So
Benadryl and melatonin, you just knock right out.
Melatonin does help. Yes.
Wow.
Marissa, something that I just recently stumbled. I mean, it's a recent post you made, so obviously probably why I recently stumbled on it. Your transformation was so fun to watch. I love this. So I'm gonna just show this because this is, you posted this. Let's see, make sure we're able to play it. So you start here. All right. So this was, how long ago was that?
That was when I first started my bodybuilding journey, so 3 years ago.
And so we'll pause right here. Yeah. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. Your transformation. That's crazy. I mean, there's a lot of people. You had a beautiful body, but I mean, there's a lot of girls that start off where you started out. There's a lot of girls that they have a great body. They look, they're right around right there. And then to see you create this, it's just like, I think that's where people draw so much inspiration. You know what I mean? And there's even more of your transformation. Like, look at this. This is a great one too.
This is my current most proud victory. So this is actually not too long of a difference. This was 4 weeks after Olympia 23 and 4 weeks after my pro win just recently in Mexico. And this was the first time that I've ever actually reversed successfully. And there's been a lot of wins on stage. There's a lot of amazing placings. I'm fighting, tearing up looking at this, but this is that internal growth that we all fight for in this sport, which is why we get addicted to this sport, because we see ourselves change and become emotionally and stronger mentally. And that is the physical manifestation of the strength that I have built. And I'm really, really proud of that moment.
I feel your emotion in your voice. Tell us more about that. I mean, this is, I could like feel like it's palpable. What was the thing that helped you make that mental transition for yourself?
I think a lot of it was fundamentally believing that I deserved better than what I was giving myself.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
instead of, getting to the end of a prep and resenting the stage and kind of taking that, you know, the resentment for losing out on social life or losing out on this and then taking it out on myself and kind of punishing myself for how dare I, do something so selfish for so long. Um, in my prep with Mexico, I made it a priority, and like I actually made a priority list of who Marissa is. I am Marissa, the girlfriend. I am Marissa, the sister. I am Marissa, the daughter. I am Marissa, the friend. And then I put at a certain point, which is true, I am Marissa, the bodybuilder. And I set my priority list. And if there was instances where I had to choose and set my priorities, I needed to have them in order. So if there was Mother's Day, I had to be daughter Marissa first because that is in my heart of hearts the priority. So was I a little uncomfortable sitting at tea with my mother not eating the sandwiches? Yes, absolutely. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's so nice. Oh my gosh, amazing.
She's at the
I am
airport.
so sorry. I am doing an interview right now, but we can chat in about 20 minutes. Thank you.
Hey,
You're like,
this
you
is
can
live
comment in the log on live line and you can comment in
Yeah.
the comment section.
This is live TV, baby.
I'll send
Hang on,
him the link.
Marissa, you have to share with us what's going on. They want autographs over there.
No, his dad is a dentist. He has
Oh,
all of his books. Yeah.
oh, okay. Sounds like a fun conversation to have later.
Yes, 20 minutes. But okay, but yeah, so I made a priority like chart this time around, and it was uncomfortable to go into social settings with my Tupperwares or to be hungry. But I realized that putting myself in those uncomfortable situations, well, one made everything else a lot easier because if I can be starving and depleted in public with people, being home and being a little bit hungry, I ate shit. But then also, like, I got to the end of my prep and I didn't feel like I was missing out on life. I didn't feel like the people that I loved were neglected. I didn't feel like I had to, I loved who I was inside and out instead of just becoming this isolated shell of a human and then resenting myself for it and then punishing myself. And it really, really showed through that physical. Yeah, that was really
Yeah. And I think most competitors can completely relate with you. Most competitors are also afraid to share the other side of, when you come out of a prep and you look so amazing and then we go through this phase, but reverse dieting and getting out of a show is so hard to do. And that's awesome that you're so transparent about it.
Yeah.
Oh, my hand was absolutely shaking when I made that post, but sometimes you gotta do things. You gotta do things sometimes that make you uncomfortable because you know that they're gonna help somebody else out there, and it would be selfish not to. Just because I'm uncomfy, you gotta do something. I love it.
Yeah, but you can relate. A lot of people could relate with that.
Yeah. So you're on the stage here, and this is the show that you just won, and you look so relaxed, and you look so like I could feel now that you told us that. I wanted to go back actually after you told that story and pull this video up because I want to see the vibe. I want to see the energy after you told me that, and I could see it. I could see the comfort that you have, just that feeling of I'm present, I'm in the moment. Tell me about that.
It truly, it was, yes, a competition, but it felt like a show. So the Pittsburgh Pro was actually 24 hours after I took my clinical skills assessments, which are the exams that, oh my God, I thought that my coach jumped on. I forgot that I put his screen recording. I was like, Christopher.
I was like, who's on with us?
I know. I was like, how did he get here?
I saw that too. He's along for the ride because he's in the video.
He made me promise to pronounce his name correctly on this call. He called me 5 minutes before you guys and we practiced it. Chris Garunlian. Garunlian.
Thanks for the clarification.
Anytime. Happy to help. At least we know his last name. Mine's still a mystery. Like it was truly that. It was a show. It was a celebration of this like accumulation of all of these big things. I took my clinical skills assessments, and I now am able to work on real patients and accept my own patients. And then 24 hours later, I stepped on stage at Pittsburgh Pro and placed top 3 behind 2 of the best wellness athletes on the planet. And I held my own, and it was just, and then the week later I got to travel to Mexico to compete on stage in like a different country. And it just was it's a very beautiful life. I feel immensely blessed, and I think it shows. I hope it shows. I just am very grateful to be honest on this stage. And this journey has been so quick too, that it sometimes it just feels surreal. I still feel like the girl in that first part of that clip. I just feel like this little teeny bopper who started working out, threw on some heels, and then somehow ended up on the Olympia stage. Like, I don't know how it all happened. I don't know who I had to trick or bamboozle to get here, but I don't know.
So what role did your sister have on, and I'm sure she was a big inspiration to try this.
Inspiration, dragged me by the hair onto a stage, dragged me to the gym. I used to be the type of person that was like, oh, why would you want to work out? Like, that's so exhausting. I'd rather stay home and eat pizza. And like, I would kind of like look at her and be like, why are you going to the gym? That's crazy. Aren't you tired? And then she dragged me to the gym and was like, just come with me one time, and then I'll stop bothering you. And then I did, and I loved it. And then she was competing, and she's like, you should just get on stage. It'll be fun. You can wear a shiny bikini. And then I did, and I fell in love with it again. She was at my first show. Me and her lived together and trained together for 2 weeks before my national show where I won my pro card. She was backstage and with me on stage at my first Olympia. Yeah.
That's right. Your first Olympia, you guys competed together.
We were next to each other on stage.
That is so right. You have the same last names.
While you're telling the story, by the way, I'm actually looking there. I remember there was a post that she made about you. I'm looking for that right now. So just keep going, because I remember this post, and I'm so determined to find it.
So my first Olympia, I very much had imposter syndrome. Like I said, I felt like some little girl that got plucked off the street and thrown onto the Olympia stage, and I was scared shitless. Like, I was so scared that I was going to embarrass myself. All I kept saying the entire week up, like, I just don't want to get last. I just don't want to get last. I'm going to be so, like, I just don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want to embarrass you. Like, I just want to be good. And I went out and I did my individual routine, and I have anxiety. So I came backstage and I started hyperventilating, and I was this close to having a full-blown panic attack, and literally had my stuff in my hand ready to sprint out of the backstage into sleep. I was terrified. And Sunny comes over, who is competing at her Olympia as well, mind you. She had just done her routine, came off.
Oh, we froze. No. We got frozen. Well, we'll show her killing it here while she's frozen. This again is her competing in the Mexico Pro, where she won. And while we're waiting for her to come back, we'll just take a look at this.
There she is.
There she is. All right, she's back.
Okay, so you were getting off stage, you had a panic attack, and Sunny was there. What happened next?
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's like, what's going on? I told her, I'm like, I just want to leave. I embarrassed myself. And she looked at me. She's like, okay, then you can leave. But that's what you define being Marissa Andrews is. She's like, or you can get back out on that stage and you can show them just who you are, because this is the moment right here. You can either run away scared, or you can define what it means to be Marissa Andrews, and you can get out on that stage and show the world. And she's like, but it's your choice. I'm not going to. We lost her. Oh, that's Colin. That's my boyfriend. But that's what she literally was like, this is your choice right here. So she's like, you can either stand up with your head held tall and get back out on that stage, or you can leave. But that will be what the definition of being Marissa Andrews is. You choose. And I literally was like, okay. And I went out there, and then I got called into first callouts. And if you watch the video back, you can actually see I cry a lot. You can see me crying in first callouts. I literally am like sitting there in my front pose. I'm like,
that's really
Yeah.
A first Olympia can bring a lot of emotions, and a lot of people don't feel like they have a whole lot of expectations. They're like, I've already made it. But do you think that maybe because your sister is who she was, that maybe you felt a little bit more pressure
I
causing you to
think
maybe
so.
have an anxiety attack?
I maybe that could have been contributing, I'm sure. It's not something that I've consciously thought of, but it is true that up until now, still, a lot of people do know me as Sunny Andrew's sister. So walking into the Olympia as, having somebody so close to you who was one of the original wellness girls, was one of the top wellness Olympians, I think to this day is still the highest ranking US wellness athlete because she placed fifth. I don't think anyone else in the US has placed fifth or cracked that top five. Yeah, it's big shoes to fill. So having, it sets the bar a little bit higher than just going to the Olympia when your sister has not only gone to the Olympia, but placed top 5 at the Olympia or 6. But yeah.
Yeah, but
so,
I have to commend you. I really think that you have created your own, you've created your own mark in the sport. And actually, I think a lot of people, they're like, oh, they have the same last name. I think a lot of people don't realize, like, you are your own badass person, and so is she. But the fact that you guys have that, you guys are sisters, is really cool. But you guys have done a great job creating your own entities.
Thank you. Thank you. My favorite little saying is strong apart, unstoppable together. So I love that.
You guys are so, I think it's so awesome that you guys root for each other so much, and I can tell it's genuine. We've had conversations about this. Camille and I and Linda, we've talked about this on FemFlex Friday, and we talk about you behind your back if you don't know that. But we do wonder the sister rivalry thing. I mean, we all have siblings, and I think that a lot of people would probably feel like, gosh, like if my sibling were doing the same thing I was doing and they were really good at it too, most people would probably feel a certain type of way about it. But it seems with you two both genuinely are rooting for each other, and it's really beautiful to see. It's a rare bond that I think you probably both have recognized and realized is really special between the two of you, right?
Yeah, it is very, very special having your best friend right next to you on the biggest, scariest day of your life.
Yeah. It's got to be so much fun. That's got to be such a fun day. Like way, like a totally different level than what we are all feeling, because you have like that support right next to you.
Yeah. Yes. At the first show we ever did together was the Pittsburgh Pro in 22. And as we were going up and down the stage, we like grabbed hands and just like squeezed each other's hands, and it was like kind of like the little, that's our brother. He's also a doctor.
My parents, of course he is.
So are your parents? I was going to ask, are your parents doctors? Because all three of you are. That's good.
No, they're just ethnic. It was doctor, lawyer, or Indian chief. Those are the three I'm allowed to be. and then I pulled dentist, and that was kind of gray area. So we'll see.
Teeth, huh? Yeah. You don't know if you're going to be accepted by the family yet. You're still fighting for your stripes.
Exactly. And now that I got the white coat, my mom's a little bit more into it. She's like, okay, cute. We also have a white coat.
Well, everybody needs a dentist, so you're always going to have a career.
I know
my dad is my patient. My dad is my patient already too. It's so cute.
I know. My mom. I told my parents, I'm like, you just can't come see me. I get nervous when I have to see my parents. I get nervous.
Oh, I love it.
You two are both very passionate about teeth. So am I, actually. I think it's probably a good thing to be passionate about.
Bye, nice meeting you. Yeah, I mean, how many times? One of the things that baffled me, not baffled, but like kind of opened my eyes, is I was watching through Instagram stories, and I was looking at professional competitors, and this woman was talking. Someone was like, "What is your biggest insecurity when you're on stage?" And she goes, my smile. And this woman is on the Olympia stage, and once again, I cried. It brought me to tears. I was like, this is one of the biggest days of your life. You have worked and fought so hard to get here. And in the back of your head, you're worried about smiling on the happiest day of your life. And then I was like, and then I get to help with that. Like I get to be, I get to be part of making that just disappear. Like it doesn't even have to be on her mind. She can actually enjoy life and enjoy a moment and smile when she's happy. And
I love your passion. You know, it's like when you're that passionate about what you do, you're gonna be phenomenal at it.
Marissa, do you mind if I ask how old you are?
28.
Wow.
You are just on a fast track.
And wise beyond your years.
Thanks. It's the trauma. I'm just kidding.
No, you're knocking off all the stuff that sets your foundation now. And then you're going to be able to just like focus on like just onward, upward as you go. It's just like, it's so cool to see that you have so much figured out by 28. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Thank you.
So Marissa, we only have a couple of minutes left with you before you have to go catch your flight. And I'm sure everyone talking to you is probably boarding with you.
I could just run to the airport with my laptop out if you guys wouldn't mind.
So
it would be very on-brand for me.
You are getting ready for the Olympia. What are you doing different this Olympia compared to last Olympia? What are you and your coach doing? Anything you can reveal?
Well, I am being confident in myself this year. I think walking out of the shows that I did, I don't know if it's weird to say, but I think I actually understand my potential and how good I can be if I actually believe that I can be that good. Instead of just, oh, I love that. I'm going to blow her out of the water. I can't wait. Well, first of all, I'm starting at a healthier body fat. So sitting at 150 to 153 instead of sitting at 180 is very, very, girl, I get big.
Wow.
Not big. Not anymore.
You're a tiny person.
Mini beast. Yeah.
You're a mini person. Yeah.
But I have a quick question. I mean, you put on, we saw your transformation. The last 3 years, you've put on a lot of muscle. Do you think it's also important to like put on that much size that you kind of have to embrace the fluff and just go to the gym? So now maybe you have that mass, you can kind of stay closer. Do you think that's also, there's a benefit to really having to maybe bulk in the off season if you're trying to put on a lot of size?
Yeah, I think that of course the off season and gaining body fat has a very important place in this sport and in your health. I think the body fat I'm at now is a healthy off season body fat. I think getting to a body fat that was like 180 it did help me put on size, but I think for my health, I think that it was not where I would be optimal. I felt sluggish. I didn't feel confident in my skin. But now, I can still add size at this body fat at, 15 pounds above stage weight. I can still add the size that I need to. Probably not to the extent and to the degree that I added between St. Louis and my first Olympia. But then again, I don't need to. I don't need to add. My feedback from Texas last year was actually to downsize. And this year, my feedback was copy paste belly button down, bring in some abs. So I don't need to do anything crazy between now and Olympia. Just stay at a healthy body fat. Do some crunches, wear my little waist trainer, and then just keep my mental peace. I think is my biggest thing. Is just
I'm with you though. Yeah. Like the mental part of it is so huge because like your physique looks awesome. You placed 9th here, right? And it really does come down to like when you walk on that stage, having that aura, like I'm the shit. I've got this, and that could be all the difference, right?
Yeah. And do you know that? No, what was that?
What?
Well, I was going to say also the confidence is also coming from a place where Marissa, you're accomplishing so much in your personal life as well. that you're like, you know what? I've already
Right?
made it. I'm a
Yes.
doctor. You have amazing support around you. Like you've already won. This is just the cherry on the ice on top.
I call it the sprinkles on the cupcake. It looks beautiful for the world looking in, but does it make it taste that much better? No.
Yeah.
So
I love
yeah.
that. I love that.
Yeah.
Well,
You know you know how the phrase, the energy you said of like, you're welcome, I'm here.
Yeah.
You know how that phrase when you're posing is like to keep the cadence, you're taught to walk out and say, thank you very much, transition, thank you very much, transition. I, as a posing coach, teach my girls that whenever you hit your pose, the judges were woke up on that day and they had the hardest task of their life. They were told that they have to go pick who the winner is. But we decided 3 months ago that we're already winning. So we're making their life easy. So when we walk out and we hit our front pose, we say, you're motherfucking welcome. And you transition. You're motherfucking welcome. You transition. And it's because you're welcome. I made your life so easy. I decided 3 months ago I was going to win. So here you go. You're welcome. You're fucking welcome. And then you keep transitioning. Yeah. So whenever you see me on stage, just know that that's what's going through my head.
I know. I was just going to say, now we know what you're thinking about. And
yeah.
I think a lot of people should do that. That's great.
Oh,
yeah. That's self-talk.
That?
You should. It's so fun. It's so fun. And then you like, when you're about to turn to the back, you think, you're not ready for it. But okay, fine.
Wait a minute. Okay. Hang on. Before I let you go.
Are we going back to my video?
I want to. Okay, so before we go, do you have your video of you doing your routine on your Instagram?
Yeah, the Pittsburgh one.
Okay, let me find that.
This is like, go to the Pittsburgh. Go to the Pittsburgh.
I know.
Oh.
That was Marissa's favorite look.
I found it. Okay, I found it, and you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna watch it, and I want you to tell me what you're thinking during this routine.
I'm ready. I
wonder.
All right. Okay. Hang on. We're sharing. Okay. Here we are. This is it, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So right here, I'm like, all right, get ready for it. Get ready for it. And then I think, be like, do you want to see something crazy? You want to see something crazy? And then I'd be like, nope, not yet. Not yet. You don't see it yet. And then it's, you're motherfucking welcome. And then it's like, fine. Right? Is it keep freezing for you? As soon as, yeah. And then here I go, yeah, you can eat your heart out every single time I hit that back pose. And then turn. And then actually at this part, do you know the Lil Wayne lyrics, like, hate to see her go, but love to watch her leave? That's what I think. And then I'm like, yeah, you saw that. Yes,
Tina, you do need to remember that.
Oh my gosh, this is so good. This is the best.
That is amazing.
I love that. I love that.
And then I'm like, hit him with it. And then when I do the little sign off, it's like, yeah, I know. And then you go.
How can you not be confident telling yourself that? Like, how can you not be confident doing that?
Yeah, I know. I got it like that. I know. Oh my gosh, that was the best. I love that.
You should mic me up at the Olympia this year. That would be great. Can we do that?
Yeah, I know,
but you just can't mimic it.
Hello, Tyler.
I feel
Tyler, do you see the shit?
Marissa, you just changed like a lot of people's game right now. You know that?
I'm happy to help. It makes it more fun. It just makes it's a show. It's a show at the end of the day more than anything.
Totally. Have fun with it. Yeah. Well, you have to go catch your flight. We've kept you 4 minutes over.
It's okay. Right. I'll run. I'm quick. Marissa, I'm an athlete.
Really fast. Give your fans just like one last like little mini kind of thought, and then we'll sign off. But when I give you the last word, what next of your fans?
Well, I wanted to say, first of all, thank you guys so much for believing in me from day one and believing my absolutely delusional dream. Even though I had nothing to back it up at the time, you guys saw something in me that I didn't think you would, and I appreciate it completely. And just remember that if you are starting your journey or at any point in your bodybuilding career, or honest to God, anything that is a big dream and scares you in this life, just remember that just because you don't have it yet doesn't mean that you don't have it in you. And don't let anybody tell you differently.
You're a natural speaker and motivational speaker. I mean, that was awesome.
Thank you.
We're going to have you on again with your sister because this was such a short one and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I would love that. I would love that.
This is just part one.
Part one. Yes.
Part one.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Marissa. And we just love having you. We're wishing you all the best. We're so rooting for you. And everybody watching, thank you all so much for joining us. And until next time, we will see you on the flip side.